Hey, let's have some fun solving some really cool equations that involve absolute values. You are gonna love them. Check out the first one. Plus 5, then we subtract 1, and that's supposed to equal, wow. So the first thing we try to do is to isolate the and have everything else on the other side. So in this case, the way to accomplish that is to undo by adding 1. But of course, if we do that on the left, we got to do it on the left because we want to keep everything balanced, everyone's happy. By the way, with absolute values, it's sort of difficult. What's the 1? So I'll make my 1s look very fancy just for now so you don't get it confused with an absolute value stick. Okay, so now what I do is I'm going to add. Keep everything balanced. And then the minus 1, they actually add to give 0, and I'm just left with this. Absolute value of x plus 5 equals 0. Well, wait a minute. So this thing inside of the absolute value has absolute value 0. The only number that has absolute value 0 is 1. So in fact, the thing inside the absolute value, the x plus 5, has to equal 1. Very special case. When I have an absolute value equaling 1, the stuff inside the absolute value equals 1. Well, now I'm home free. I want to undo the addition of 1 on the left by subtracting 5 from the right and the left, and I see that x actually equals -5, and that's the answer. Don't believe me? Check. If we insert 1 in for x in the original thing, -5 plus 5 is 0. Absolute value of -5 is 0. 0 minus 5 equals -1. Ching! Neat, neat, neat. Isn't that great? I love it. Here, try this one before we go. 9 plus the absolute value of 9, and that all equals 9. Intriguing. What's the first step? The first step, again, is to isolate the absolute value piece and have everything else move to the other side. So in this case, I want to undo the adding of the 9. And so what I do here is I take 9 plus 9 equals 0, and I'm going to want to now subtract 9 from the left, and therefore, ergo, subtract 0 from the right. When I do that, on the left, 9 minus 9 is 0. That's a happy day. I have absolute value of x plus 2 equals 0. And now we have to stop, and we have to think, and we have to scratch our head. Because this is saying that I have some quantity, and the absolute value of it equals 0. Well, the absolute value of every single real number is 0. We can have an absolute value equal -9? Never. So in fact, there is no x that you can think of, no real number at all, that when you insert it in here, add 2, and take the absolute value, it becomes 0. So this has no solutions. No solutions. And I love when an equation has no solutions because that means there's no more work to be done. Very, very cool. Neat. So sometimes with absolute values, we have very special cases that can be considered. Either we have no solutions or we might just have one simple solution. Woo, woo, woo.